Hello everyone, and welcome to the another very exciting project for our development in JavaScript that is known as called Weather Pro. It is in a continuation to the series of the previous project what we have developed in JavaScript, and this is once again a very competitive project I'm going to present to you, which is called Weather Pro, where I would like to offer you the real-time weather application into your browser taken from the real-time weather applications. Okay, so let's get started with the new development of our application, which is called a Weather Pro. Now, once again, compared to the previous project what we have seen, these projects were working more a kind of static in nature, where like you talk about snake game, you talk about TikTok to or other type of games like an online quiz, where the data was very much static in nature. But we were presenting the data in the form of more dynamic in nature. This time, this project we are presenting you while connecting with a real-time weather application, where I'll be making a one REST API call, or else you can say asynchronous call. And since JavaScript is working as about a pure asynchronous nature, you will be enjoying the way how the JavaScript can communicate with your backend, load the data, and represent the records in a very beautiful manner. So once again, we would need this VS Code editor only just to develop our code. And once again, for developing a presentation part, we'll be using HTML. For formatting part, we'll be using CSS, and to make some dynamic update, we'll be using JavaScript. Now here, I'm going to create a new file name called index.html. Parallelly, I just want one more that is known called app.css, and another file we need it, and that is called your JS file. So we are saying app.js file. So total number of 3 files are available to us. Now I'll start working with an HTML now, and here we'll start with this HTML templates. Now here, first of all, I would like to load my CSS file, which I do not have right now, but certainly I can use it. Okay, so I can just say link rel equal to style sheet and href equal to app.css. Well, that is my CSS location. Now I just want to create this link rel I would better use inside my head tag. That will be the more convenient place. Now in my body, I want to have some of the div tags, and there I can decide where the weather to be displayed. So I can just start with my div tag now. With my div tag, I say class equal to, I can just create a class which later on I can offer different size of or different type of styles. So we can say container. So we're saying div class equal to container. Now within a div tag, we like to use another div tag, which is a nested one. So this div will have another class called class equal to app hyphen title. App hyphen title. In the same div tag, we can use this typical paragraph tag, and here we say weather info. Weather info. Now, after this paragraph tag, we want to have a text box, because I would expect a client to enter the detail on which city or for which city he or she would like to get the details. So we can say input some properties like ID equal to search, second type equal to text, next placeholder equal to enter the city, next autocomplete. I'm saying autocomplete off. The reason because I do not want the previous value user can see. In this case, we can say autocomplete off. I do not want any autocomplete in this. Okay. Now, here it is getting closed now. After that, we also want the locations. For that I may use some of the PNG files and all, but right now I just want to display the details of the user, like which city he belongs to, and accordingly I can display the records right in your application. So for that I really need some of the div tags once again, where I can display the details of this particular city. So I'm just having this only text box. Let me go back and check how it looks. So I have a call, enter the city. So here I'll be picking up the city, and somewhere down the line I have to display the records. So after this div, we can also have some of the locations to be displayed. So we can just use the notifications and also the location where you want the details to be displayed. Okay, so we can use div class equal to temperature value, temperature hyphen value. Okay, so div class equal to temperature hyphen value. Inside this I'll be using paragraph tag, and here in my paragraph I'll say hyphen and this degree centigrade or whatever you want to display it here, and we'll use a span tag within this and show in degree centigrade. That's it. And if you want to define the temperature description, after this div tag we can use another div tag, and inside my div tag I can define the temperature description. Okay, so we can say div class equal to temperature hyphen description, temperature hyphen description, and within this I'll be using what, a paragraph tag. Here I'll be displaying all the description. So right now that is the only thing which I want. Let me check. Okay, so it's here right now. So now let me try to collect the value from the client and perform some JavaScript tag within this. Okay, now it's time for us to go back and try to bring some of the CSS features into my code now. Now, few things I would like to say is I have basically downloaded some fonts which I would like to use it in my application, and I also have some of the icons which I would like to use during my application presentation. So there are some PNG files are there which I've downloaded from the internet just to bring more beautiful experience towards my application development. Well, this is another background image which is called bg.jpg, which I would like to make it as a background of my existing application. So I'll start with my CSS and see how this CSS can really bring some new features to my code. Well, first thing I need to have a called font face. So to make this font face, we are using this statement name called here @font face, and I like to use font family. Font family I'm using Montserrat. Okay, it is already there with me, Montserrat, and the URL what is looking forward for. So we are saying src URL, and I'm saying under the font, so we have a file called ttf. Okay, that is called bold.ttf. That is the file which is there with me. Next thing, so for every location I want to use the font family, font hyphen family. I want to use same Montserrat, and the next thing is like in my body. So in my body, few details like background image, I need URL, and in this URL we can say bg.jpg in my background. Next thing is background color, that I need it still blue. Then I need height, I'll say 500 pixels. Next, your background position, This I need it is center. Next is your background repeat. I say no repeat. Next is your background size. This I'm saying cover. This is my body part. Okay, let's check. Okay, looks awesome now. You see this now. This is how my weather info is looking like it. You can see like the background looks awesome now. Now, next thing we require a container. So we are saying dot container. Container we say width 50%. Next, background color. We're just using white. Next, we need it is your align self. That will be center. Display will be block. Margin. So in margin we can say 100 pixels. After that, border radius. Border radius we are saying 10 pixels. And then padding bottom. This padding bottom will be 50 pixels. Then box shadow. This box shadow we are giving 5 pixels, 10 pixels, 20 pixels, and black. This will be with my container. So index.html file we have a called container. Now, okay, looks awesome now. So this is where exactly the details will be. Okay, now after this CSS container we have used, we can talk about called title. You can say app-title. Inside this we will say width will be 100%. Then height will be 150 pixels. Then border radius 10 pixels. Then we need display we need flex, and then we need align items. This align items we are just saying center. Next we need justify content. That will be the justify content will be just center. Then flex direction would be column. So this option we are using for our tool name called what? app-title. Okay, so here in my index.html file we have a called div class equal to what? app-title equal to weather info. Let's check. Okay, so this is the another we have used that is called app title. Now we need to use it for paragraph. Inside my app title, what should be alignment for my paragraph? So here, this app title is space p, but it should be the class. So we are saying dot, and there also we have to use what? Dot, because both have to be the class type. Okay, so here you can see now there is a difference. I forgot to add dot, and now you can see it looks better comparatively. Paragraph. So once again, in my paragraph I'll be having text align, center, padding I want 15 pixels. Then I need margin would be 0 and auto followed by font size. Font size, this I'm saying is called 1.2. Yeah, this is position. Then color, here giving hash value called 333. Okay, now here, okay, so some changes in a paragraph. Well, going forward for the search, because if you remember, we have an index.html file, we have a call id equal to what? Search. So here in my app.css, I have to use hash search. Okay, so this search conditions, I want to use it. Now inside my search, I need few things. One is called display. I need block. After that, I need margin left, auto, margin right, auto, width. I'm looking forward for 5 pixels. Height, that I'm looking forward for 20 pixels. Then border radius, I'm looking forward for 5 pixels. Then outline, that is called none. When we say border, okay, in this border what we can say 3 pixels, space solid, okay, and once again sea blue. That's what. Let's check. So this is actually the text box. So once again, search you use display block, margin left auto, margin right auto, width 5 pixels, width, padding, sorry, one thing I said, padding should be 5 pixels, width should be 40%. That's why it is smaller. Width it will be 40%. Let's check. Yeah, that's look better now. Okay, so my text box is now ready. I'll be having some of the details for the notifications also. So what I need for the notifications, let me go back and create a class for notification. So dot notification. Okay, now in the notifications, I would like to give some value called background color, and in this background color we are just giving white, and after that we are saying display, and we are saying none. This is for notification, and followed by the notification, we're talking about the same notification. Okay, and followed by its paragraph. We are giving the color. First of all, we are saying color. Color is basically red. Okay, or else if you want to give maroon, it will be maroon. And after this, the next property we are taking is called font size. Font size we are taking is called 1.2 em, followed by margin. Margin we are taking is 0. After that, text align, center, padding 10 pixels, 0. So this is for notification P. And then the weather container, okay, in my weather container I will say width 100%, sorry, yeah, width 100%, height we're giving 260 pixels, or if to you 250 pixels if you want. Background color, This background color we are giving this called once again white, and followed by margin top 20 pixels. 20 pixels. This is for weather container. Now for the weather icon, weather hyphen icon, I'm saying width is 100% and height 128 pixels, just to give in a better look. Now the next thing, we are using dot weather hyphen icon space img. Here we are getting display none, and sorry, display not none, I will say rather block, display block, and margin giving 0 space auto. This for icon. And location icon, if I want to give, then location hyphen icon. This location icon I can say same width height. So width I'm giving is 100%, then height I'm giving 40 pixels, and then we give this option called padding, then 10 pixels. So it's for location icon. Now followed by location icon, we are also giving call location icon img. Okay, dot location hyphen icon space img. Here we're giving the value called display block, display block width we're giving is called 32 pixels, and then we're looking forward for margin would be 10 pixels and auto. Then cursor, so cursor will be pointer for sure, and then we require padding we're looking forward for 5 pixels, followed by border we are looking forward for steel blue solid and 2 pixels. Then border radius we're looking forward for 10 pixels, and followed by your color steel blue. So these are the look and feel we have to basically offer it for my current application, which I yet to discuss in my next development. Then I'll be having some small properties here. Okay, and those properties are nothing but to give you the details of like temperature values. So we say dot temperature hyphen value. Okay, this temperature hyphen value we can give width is 100% and height we give this called 60 pixels. Okay, this is for temperature value. Let me copy this again, and I'm giving this temperature value space paragraph. Here I'm gonna give padding 0, margin 0, then color, which color we're looking forward for, so we can just say dark gray. Okay, or any color which you're looking forward for, it's up to you now, but if you want you can change the color also to the another one. We're giving this called hash 293. Okay, to 5 fonts. Okay, that is a more perfect color for this development. Now font size 4 em, then followed by text align, and once again center. So this is for temperature value P. We haven't used much, but you can see now it looks somewhere in much more better way. Okay, that is called temperature value P. Then you can use a temperature value span here, dot temperature value span space span, and here we remove the additional dot. Now within this span, say color, once again same, and font size this is for span, and in the same temperature description paragraph you can use it dot temperature hyphen description space P. So this will be having the padding of 8 pixels, then margin 0, followed by color, same color, the one which we have used it earlier, after this color just set text align, center, font size 1.2 em. This is for temperature description. Okay, last which is available for your location. So let me give the location now, dot location space P. Here we can say margin 0, then padding 0, then color, same color I would like to use. After this color, text align and font size. I'll copy, text align center, and here we'll be giving some different value called 0.8. Okay, and last which is left with called div. In that relative, here position I'll be using absolute, top, from top I'm using 600 pixels. Okay, and right I'm using 120 pixels. That's it. Okay, so all set. So you can see now here we have to basically offer the details how my pictures will be taken it up. So this is what my CSS. Now we'll be applying some of the CSS into my HTML to see how it really looks like it.
If getting your learning started is half the battle, what if you could do that for free? Visit SkillUp by SimpliLearn. Click on the link in the description to know more.
Okay, so we have seen some of the CSS classes we have introduced. In my HTML, we have used this autocomplete equal to off, then we have used div class equal to temperature value. Okay, if you just check carefully, we have used this temperature, and div we have used temperature hyphen value. But before that, we would like to use some other properties too. Okay, after this autocomplete equal to off, we want to use another div class. Okay, before my previous div tag is closed here. So here, after this, we would like to use another div tag, div. Here in my div, I'll say class equal to location hyphen icon. location hyphen icon. Okay, and here I'll be using img src equal to what? Under icons, I'm using the file name called location.png, and alt equal to, we leave it as it is a blank. Okay, now here the div tag is getting closed. Okay, now there's another div tag is getting closed here. So two div tags are closed. After that, we'll be using another div class for notification. Here div class equal to notification, div class equal to notification, and this div tag is getting closed right here. Okay, now another div for the weather condition, another div tag, and here we say class equal to weather hyphen condition. Weather hyphen what? A condition, or I can say weather hyphen container, whichever. So I can say weather hyphen container. Under this weather container, I like to use another div for weather icon, div for class equal to weather hyphen icon, weather hyphen icon, and within this I want to use another img src equal to, once again, icons slash unknown dot png. Okay, div tag is getting closed. So after this div tag is closed, I'm going to use temperature value. So the temperature value is anyways used here. If you see, using call temperature value after the first div tag is closed, you see like temperature value we have used. After that, the paragraph tag and the temperature hyphen description p. After the p, there's a div tag is getting closed. Okay, and after this we are using div class equal to location. So we want to use div class equal to location, and within this location we want to use one more paragraph tag with this hyphen. After this paragraph it's closed, this div tag, and another div tag. 3 div tags are closed. That's it. And at the last, before my body tag is closed, I would like to use script src equal to app.js. That's it. Let's check. Great, my application looks pretty beautiful now. So this I want to be displayed only when I don't find the weather and the location and all. So look and feel is absolutely good. And now I'll start working on my JavaScript front. Okay, so let's go ahead and start writing our JavaScript code. So in just JavaScript code, first of all, I need few things. First thing what I need is call individual elements or individual properties of my application. I need const icon element equal to document dot query selector, and I'll be using the name call dot weather hyphen icon. Okay, now copy this, now we will call icon element, we can say location icon, call location icon. Here we are saying dot location hyphen icon. Now next I need it is called temp element. Here we are using the property called dot temperature hyphen value space p. Next we are looking forward for DESC element, which is called description. Here we are giving temperature hyphen description hyphen temperature hyphen description space what p. Then location element okay, we need a location element and we use dot location space p. Next we need notification element and here we're going to give the call notification. So 4 properties we have taken. So we are selecting all the elements. Next statement what we're going to talk about. See, this statement is all about selecting the elements. The next step we are talking about call get the input field. So we are saying var input equal to document dot get element by id. Here we give the name called search, which is the name or id of my text box. Let city equal to blank. Next we're going to give call let latitude equal to 0.0. We are initializing this value, and let longitude equal to again 0.0. So we are getting the coordinates right now. So this is how to get the input fields. Next we want to apply the events here. We are saying input the variable dot add event listener. The variable what we're talking about, which event listener we're talking about, key up, and what event you want to apply. So we are saying function with a parameter name called what, event, and now we would like to attach the logic. Now we are saying if what is the condition, event dot key code equal to 13. Okay, then that means number 13 is basically the enter. See, the key code means what, 13 represent the enter keyword. So event dot key code equal to what, 13. So we are saying event dot prevent default. Why we are using this? Because I do not want my page to be get refreshed. Just to avoid this we are using this. And after that we are saying city equal to input dot value. Now you'll be using this another function because I do not have function created. Otherwise I have to call the function name called get search weather and be passing this as a parameter. So we are using get search weather. I do not have this function, I yet to create this, and pass it here as a what, city, and we say console dot log city, whatever we are basically printing it. Okay, so that is the first thing. Later on we need to get the data. So to get the data we are just using this variable name called const weather equal to curly braces. After that we are saying weather dot temperature equal to this, and which temperature conditions you want. I'm saying unit of type what, Celsius. I want it in Celsius, put it in double quotes. Okay, so next statement will be getting the details in Kelvin. I'm saying const Kelvin equal to value of the Kelvin is what, 273, and after that const C. Ultimately what we need is we need to interact with our backend API from where I will get or receive the updated weather applications. Okay, now to get this I'll be using one very popular API here that is known as called openweathermap.org. This is one very popular app which people use it, and it's used and trusted by many companies. Clear? So here what you can do, this openweathermap.org, so you need to basically first of all get yourself registered, because if any third-party application is interacting, it requires that particular unique API key. Since as a visitor you really can't get it unless you register yourself, so I have my API key with me, so I'll go here. It'll ask me for the registration. So I already signed up, so if you're not, you need to sign it. There's an API key for me which I need to copy, and this API key I'll be using it in my project. So I just use this property called const key equal to paste my key here. Okay, after this pasting the key, but make sure that you're rather using my key, you use your key, otherwise this application sometimes won't work. So I'm basically trying to use this tool name called geolocation. I'm saying if geolocation, okay, in navigator is, there's a browser object model element. So here we are using navigator, okay, navigator dot geolocation dot get current position, in which I'll be passing the first parameter name called what, set position, and second parameter will be show error, in case if any error is received. Okay, else, in this else condition what would happen, I'm using this statement name called notification element. You see this notification element dot style dot notification element dot get elements by class name, but I don't need this, rather I will use what, the style dot display equal to block. Then I'll be using the same notification element dot inner HTML equal to, you're gonna use a paragraph saying what, browser doesn't support, so you have to enable the current location of yours. Okay, that's where exactly. So after that we have to basically set what, the user position. Okay, if the user is having that support available, so after this location we'll be just using another function here, function set position. I'll be taking position as a parameter and take latitude equal to position dot chords for coordinates dot latitude, okay, like that, longitude equal to what, position dot chords dot longitude. After this, we'll be using this function called what? Get weather. So this get weather will be the function in which we'll be passing it. So this function will be soon seen. I'll be having it defined below. But as of now, we are just saying get weather, and in which this we are passing latitude and longitude. That's it. So we have this function name called what? Set position, in which we'll be passing all the values. Okay. At the same time, I'll be using one more function here, that is called function. Not function, in fact, I would like to use location icon, the one which you defined at the top, dot add event listener. Which event listener? I'm saying on click. Second function which take event as an parameter, and inside this I'm saying console, just to confirm whether the records are being taken, console.log hey just, and we say get weather. Okay, once again we'll be passing what? Latitude and longitude. Same, I just copy this and pasted it here. Okay everyone, so we have written till here. When I try to run my browser, so I should see there is a message name called show error is not defined. But obvious, because this message what we're writing it here is called show error. Okay, this as a function, as a parameter, it is not defined. Let me define this function called show error. So we are saying function show error, which take error as an, just take error as a parameter. Now in this we are using notification dot style dot display equal to what? Block. After that, once again, notification element dot inner HTML equal to what? We're just using this as a paragraph, and here error dot message. Okay, and after that paragraph. So this is how we are basically writing it down. And now see, it is immediately asking you to know your location. Okay, if I say allow, that's okay. Okay, so nothing. You can see now it is saying get weather is not defined, because right now the moment I click on this, so it is saying like get weather is not defined. But obvious, because I told you this get weather function I need to develop. So I yet to develop this function called get weather, but before that I'm using another function called function get search weather. Get search weather, in which I'll be passing what? City name. Now what exactly my API will be, in case if I want to make a call, I will be using let API equal to, now the URL will be what? http :/API dot open weather map dot org. Now open weather map dot org slash data slash 2.5, that is a version, slash weather. Okay, question mark. I have to take the city dynamically, so I'm saying weather question mark q equal to, here we're using what? City, and we're using ampersand app id equal to the one app id we have used it already. Okay, what is that? That key. So that is a key which we've already written. That app id we are passing it right over here. Okay, Q equal to city and app ID equal to this. Now after that, to make the RESTful API call, I'll be using one independent or by default API which is available to us, that is known as called what? Fetch. Okay, so if you just check this fetch, it is basically a take request info and give you the what? A promise response. So return type will be the promise type. In this fetch, I'll be passing what? The API, and we'll be using dot then. Then means if the request is successful, we are saying function response. Then function is a parameter response. We are saying let data equal to response dot. I'm expecting the response of type of what? JSON. We're saying JSON now, and return what? Data. So it will be returning data back to me. Now if it is successful, then what? Then I'm saying dot. Then once again it is chaining, again function, again data and parameter. Now in this case we'll be getting a lot of things. I'm saying weather, okay, dot temperature, it's a predefined, dot value equal to, I'm using what? Math dot floor. Inside this we are passing what? Data dot main dot temp. It is a predefined property. We are receiving it now, hyphen Kelvin. Whatever the Kelvin value is, basically we're taking is called 273 on the top, minus Kelvin, followed by another property, what? Weather dot description, weather dot description equal to, we're using data dot weather 0th position because it contains a lot of data, but I will be taking what? Description out of that. Then weather dot icon ID, weather dot icon ID equal to data dot weather dot icon, then dot icon. Then once again weather dot city, okay, equal to data dot name. After this, weather dot country dot equal to data dot sys dot. So these are the properties. I have it right now with me, okay. And once I received all the property, I'll be using dot, then I'll be using one function, and I will say what? Display. There is no function written called display weather, but I'm gonna say there's a one function name called display weather. This function I yet to write, but this function I'm just putting it here, okay. Now this is closed. After that, since I need to get a weather from the API provider, so I have to also pass what? The latitude and longitude, which I'm receiving it from the client, because here I just want to have two things, the properties as well as weather, both, and both I'll be using it one by one. Okay, so here we have kept this get search weather, and now I'll be calling one more function after this logic, and I'm giving the name called function get weather. Okay, it takes two parameters. One is called what? Latitude, and second is called longitude. So we have two things called latitude and longitude, and here I'm using this property called what? Let API equal to, once again if you remember, I have used this statement. I'll just copy the same and pass it here, but challenge would be this time I will not be passing city name, because there are two options are available. Either you type the city name or else you click on the icon and let your application identify the location which you belong to. So after this weather, question mark, here I will not be using Q, I will be using what? LAT equal to latitude, okay, and we're using and LON equal to we're using longitude, okay, and app ID equal to what? Key. So this is the variable which we have it now, okay. Now similar thing which we have used it on the top, okay, called fetch API. So I just copy this same fetch API again, because I really don't want to waste time on keep on typing the code. When we know it very well, it can be similarly done. I just copy and paste it here. So the same fetch API dot then response data equal to response dot JSON return data, then weather dot temperature mat dot floor sys country dot display weather. So we have used the same thing here, and after that we have to use the last function here that is called display weather. Display weather, and here in my display weather I can use what? Icon element dot inner HTML equal to, I'll be using img src equal to icons slash dollar, and we'll be passing what? Weather, okay, dot icon ID, okay, dot png, okay. So that we are basically putting it here, dot png, and after that we're just closing that, okay. And this icon we also need to close here, so rather than closing this, I'll be closing that, and this I'll be closing it here. Now we'll be using temp element dot inner HTML equal to what? We'll be using this dollar weather dot temperature dot value, okay. And after this value we can just use this asterisk sign, the one which I told you, okay, and use span okay. Next we are using call talk element, so we have DAC element, so we have a call DAC element dot inner HTML equal to weather dot description, and last but not least location element dot inner HTML equal to what? I'll be using once again this, and here weather dot city comma dollar weather dot, that's it. These two properties we have to use it, and we are all done. Let's check with my code if I get any error. Now allow, so awesome, you can see now 27 broken clouds, globe undefined, that's perfectly fine. Intercity, you can see, awesome, beautifully it is showing you the conditions. It's saying smoke 28 degrees centigrade and all. Let me put another city here. I'm gonna say Pune. Awesome. Your application is working perfectly fine. And let's see one more. I would say awesome. So the code is working perfectly fine. That is the weather info application, guys, presented to you. Hope you loved it and enjoyed the complete application.